All right, comment number 9 is a movie based on the comic character, which I really like. So it's better enough we got the live action movie started Bill Murray. I think the Chris Pratt one is even worse. Comment number 9 is the Garfield movie.
Oh my god!
To be honest,
Yeah.
I will get to that movie in a bit.
Yeah.
Just you wait.
You wait, man.
The sun is on my side. I smile up to the sky. I know I'll be alright.
Yeah. No wonder John Wick fan, which is one of my friend of mine, absolutely despised this movie. This used to be his least favorite movie of 2024, but not until Joker 2 came out and he's changed his mind that Joker 2 is what he was in this movie. But that doesn't change the fact that Sony completely screwed this movie up big time. Hello everybody, my name is NH3 Lounge Chill, and welcome to another of Sony Month. So today, I'm about to do a movie rant to one of the worst adaptation for a Garfield movie, which is none other than the Garfield movie, the one from 2024. I ain't talking about that god-awful 2004 one. Okay, it's bad enough we got that live-action movie that came out 22 years ago. Now we are getting an animated film based on Garfield back in 2024. Freak me in the anus. Anyway, enough further ado. Let's get to it. So, the Garfield movie is a 2024 American animated adventure comedy film based on the comic strip of Garfield created by Jim Davis. So it's bad enough we got that terrible Garfield movie that came out 2004. It came out freaking 22 years ago, for Christ's sakes. And don't let me get started with the sequels, so next. So, yeah, when this movie came out, honestly, it was not looking good for the critic, actually, because this movie got a 36% for the critic. And of course, the audience was eating this movie up big time by giving this film a 79%. Do you really think that John Wick fan will be stupid enough to agree with the audience? Absolutely not. And of course, this movie got a 5.7 out of 10 in IMDb, and oh my god, look at this mega score, oh my god. This movie got a 31 on Megascore. You already know you screwed this you already know you screwed this movie up big time, and now this movie got a 31 on Megascore. Like, for God's sake, even the Snow White remake got even way more tolerable score and Megascore more than the Garfield movie. That's embarrassment. And look how this film did at the box office. They just let Furiosa flop on purpose. So, the Garfield movie was a box office success. It was earning over $255 million worldwide. And this movie had a $60 million budget and becoming the highest grossing Garfield movie and profit. And this movie made a profit for the studio. And though this movie beat Furiosa, well, sadly it did. This movie have audacity to beat Furiosa at the box office. Shame on you, Garfield. Shame on you. You just let Anna Taylor-Joy movie flop on purpose. So, yeah. So the Garfield movie, this movie made around for $227 million globally. And this film made domestically for a $135 million. But for Furiosa, this movie made pathetically, terribly, with a $172.77 million globally, and this movie did terribly for a $67.5 million at the domestically. And these two films was at first becoming one of the worst Memorial Day weekend for 24 years or 25 years, whatever we call that. So, yeah, and honestly, and sadly, the Garfield movie was a huge success for Sony, but for Warner Brothers, for David Zaslav, yeah, David Zaslav completely screw this movie up big time. Like, don't blame on Anna Taylor-Joy. Don't blame don't blame on Anna Taylor-Joy, Chris Hemsworth, and even George Miller. The only person you gotta blame on why Furiosa is a flop is because of the fact that David Zaslav had audacity to release Furiosa on the same day as the Garfield movie. Dude, do you not know that Furiosa is coming out the same day as the Garfield movie? Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be careful releasing on the same movie, because when you release this movie released on the same day as the Garfield movie, that's karma. And of course, sadly, this movie is getting the sequel. You got to be kidding me. So, Warner Brothers just canceled the upcoming project for Mad Max ever since Furiosa was a bomb, and now the Garfield movie is getting the sequel, but yet not for Furiosa? Come on, man. Like, honestly, we should have gotten a Mad Max project, not freaking Garfield 2, you dingbat. And honestly, I did watch this movie on Netflix, and I wanted to see how bad it is. And oh my god, this might be one of the worst adaptations for Garfield. And the fact is, this movie made the live-action Garfield look like masterpiece over this piece of donkey poop. Which is not saying a lot, because I absolutely despise the live-action Garfield. Never liked that film. Never liked that film since I was a kid. Like, ever since I was a kid when I was watching that freaking movie, yeah, that film was absolutely hard to watch. Like, Bill Murray as Garfield, one of the worst casting I ever seen for Garfield, and I'll get to Chris Pratt in a minute. So yeah, so do I have any flaws? Do I have any positive I have for this movie? Well, even this film is gonna get a 1 out of 10. I could really spoil it. Like, who cares? But honestly, I do give some credit. At least baby Garfield is very cute. Is very adorable. Yeah, baby Garfield is the one thing that kind of saved this movie. And of course, you see baby Garfield hugging John. Wait a minute, is it John? Yeah, John, yeah. John and baby Garfield's hugging. Honestly, in the backstory of how Garfield become Garfield, that is the only thing that did good for the comic strip. But ever since that pop culture reference, yeah, you already know this film will be a piece of garbage when when this film have audacity to do a reference or pop culture reference. And yes, I already know that people ain't gonna like me doing this, but I actually put a pop culture reference in the Minecraft movie. Like, the movie where Marty was ordering some Pizza Hut. Yeah, yeah, I already know that Chase will absolutely don't like me why I was putting a pop culture reference. Well, I mean product placement, so yeah, I put a product placement in the Minecraft movie. Anyway, let's get back on topic. So yeah, I did watch this movie on Netflix, and man, this film was absolutely garbage. Yeah. Like, how on earth this movie is from the same director who brought you The Episode Groove and the underrated gem of Chicken Little, guys. I defend Chicken Little. I did not care what the critics said. Yeah, I'm a huge defender of Chicken Little. I did not care what the critics said. Anyway, how on earth we go to The Episode Groove, which is the funniest comedy movie of 2000, and now we go to The Episode Groove, Chicken Little, and now the Garfield movie. Yeah, I already know this is not his fault, because he was just trying to make a perfect Garfield movie. You have to blame on Sony. Like, this is the main reason why I want Sony Jesus to be a new CEO, not a freaking CEO that we got these days. So yeah, so the only thing I like for this movie was another the opening scene when they show the backstory of how Garfield become Garfield, like showing the baby Garfield. I do, man, the baby Garfield is kind of adorable, which is not saying a lot, but just because you have a baby character in this movie doesn't mean this movie will be a masterpiece. Heck no. And honestly, and when I say cute, guys, I'm not a zoophile, okay? I'm not a pedophile, okay? Pedophile people cannot be trusted, and you shouldn't trust them either. I was just saying. So, do I have any flaws about this movie? Absolutely. I have more flaws more than positive. Let's get to so many problems that I have for this movie. Screw this movie, man. So, the story of this movie. How on earth you screw up the Garfield the Garfield brand. Like, this is not rocket science. Like, all you gotta do is follow the source material on the comic strip. But no, you're just doing the story about a rescue mission and the father and son ultimate. Like, we already have that for Strange World. It's bad enough we have it for Strange World, and now we have it for a Garfield movie? Unbelievable. And honestly, if you want to see a lot better movie that has some a father and son problem, just go watch Elf and just go watch Crowded with a Chance of Meatball and Elf. Crowded with a Chance of Meatball and Elf did a lot better father and son problem more than this freaking movie, along with Strange World. I absolutely despise Strange World. That's good a movie name. And of course, the character of this movie, yeah, hashtag not my Garfield. Like, Chris Pratt did terribly him as Garfield, and this might be one of the worst performances that he ever did in his career. Like, come on, Chris Pratt, you're the same guy that you're in the Lego movie as Emmett, Star-Lord from the Guardian of the Galaxy, and I hope to goodness that he can come back as Star-Lord in the future of the Avengers movies. Honestly, and he went to Emmett from the Lego movie, Star-Lord from the Guardian of the Galaxy, his hilarious character in Onward, and of course his Mercy character as a detective, which I'm not very excited, but it might be the most surprising movie of the year, but let's see. But how and if we go to him as Lego movie, Guardian of the Galaxy, Onward, and now we go to him as a character as Garfield. I gotta fight and say this, but him as Mario is 100 times better, and the fact is, him as Mario is the most underrated performance that Chris Pratt ever did. Like, how on earth we go to him as Mario, and now him as Garfield? Like, honestly, you can say whatever you want about Chris Pratt as Mario, because at least Chris Pratt as Mario, at least he did that, wahoo! Yeah, at least he did that. But honestly, did you see Chris Pratt doing the Garfield voice? Of course not. When I was watching this movie, Chris Pratt was acting Chris Pratt. Like, that is boring, man. So, yeah, and honestly, don't blame on Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt was trying to do his job, but you had to blame on the script that he was getting. Like, I do like Chris Pratt. He was trying to do an okay job as Garfield, but the script that he give him, but honestly, the script that they give him is absolutely atrocious. And of course, you got a dog, which I totally forgot his name. Like, what's that dog's name in this movie? What dog name in golf? Alright. Odie. Okay, Odie. Thank you. So, yeah. Odie in this movie, he's okay. It's okay. At least, at least this movie didn't have audacity to have him talk. Like, that would be so cringe if they have Odie talk. Ugh. And of course, Nicholas Horston as John. Oh, come on, man. You are Lex Luthor from Superman. How on earth we go to his character from the menu? Well, I'm not going to say how on earth we go to Lex Luthor because this movie came way before James Gunn. Superman. Like, how on earth we go to his character in Winfield and even his character from the menu. How on earth we go to the most underrated character of the menu and now we go to him as John. And he does not sound like Nicholas Horston. I'm sorry, Nicholas Horston, but his character sound like Fix-It-Phil from Wreck-It Ralph. Yeah, every single time that John was talking, yeah, I'm pretty sure that he sounded like Fix-It-Phil from Wreck-It Ralph. Well, even he voiced by Nicholas Horston, but that does not sound like Nicholas Horston. Hashtag not my John. And of course, we got the actress that she was in Mission Impossible: The Final Awakening, Jinx. Who is Jinx? Talking about the Jinx from Teen Titans? Oh my god, not that villain. We'll get to that villain in a minute. Anyway. And of course, you got Bike, whatever we call him, voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, come on, Samuel L. Jackson, my guy. You are Nick Fury from the Avengers movie. I ain't gonna say anything about Perfection because I haven't seen Perfection. But how on earth we go to him as Nick Fury and now we go to him as a father of Garfield? And he was a terrible father. Like, all he did in the backstory, he was saying, I'll be right back. And he just run and ditch Garfield. But out of the last minute, he was getting some food out of the garbage. And yeah, and Garfield's dad was really upset that Garfield find his own family, which is John, actually. Yeah, Garfield and Odie are main characters in the Garfield strip, but this movie is absolutely garbage. So yeah, and of course you got the animal police or animal cultures. Oh my god. Okay, why do we need a story about when they kidnap animal? Like we already seen that for the live action adaptation for Clifford the Big Red Dog, and don't let me get started with Abomination. I'll definitely do a remake of that movie for my PBS Kids cinematic universe. Stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And who else in this movie? Who else? Wait a minute. Is that the same actor that he was in the Mission Impossible movie and even Leo and Stitch? Let me see. Okay, what character did he play as? Oh my god. Oh yeah, he was playing that character, was a Randall. Get that out of my face. The animation looks hideous. Honestly, yeah, let's get the animation. The animation of this movie looks absolutely hideous. Like, I already know this is a 3D animation that was trying to catch the spirit as much as the original Garfield source material, but I'm not a huge fan of this animation. This animation is just too much for me. And of course, the slapstick. Oh my god. The slapstick is not even that funny since the Looney Tune. Like, Looney Tune did a lot better slapstick more than slapstick in this freaking movie. Like, there was a sequence in this movie when you saw the trailer when Garfield was trying to save Odie, and all of a sudden, it was a slapstick what was trying to win in the car, and this was the shot. One of the scariest shot I ever seen, and that is much scarier, just like the live action Garfield movie. Get that horrendous out of my face. And of course, the climax of this movie, yeah, one of the worst climax I've ever seen for a Garfield adaptation. And of course, the ending of this movie is a huge slap in the face to the people who's a huge fan of the comic and the animated shows. And guys, honestly, if you want to watch a lot better Garfield media, honestly, just read the comment, just go watch the cartoon, and go even watch the most underrated show that came out from Garfield, which is not in the Garfield show. And don't worry, guys, the animation looks hideous. Honestly, I absolutely do not like the animation. Like, the animation is way worse in this movie. But honestly, even the animation looks absolutely horrendous, but at least the Garfield show, at least that show is way more enjoyable and way more fun to watch more than this movie. And honestly, just go watch the Garfield Friends. Yeah, the Garfield Friends and the Garfield show are 100 times better than this piece of donkey poop. And even I haven't seen some of the animated Garfield movie, like the sequel of the one movie that Lemon Strapback talked about, which, yeah, was a piece of Lemon Strapback YouTube channel. He'll always be missed. But honestly, even I haven't seen some of the animated direct-to-video Garfield movie, but you already know that film. You already know this film is trying to make me appreciate these direct-to-video animated Garfield movie, which I am no interested of watching it, because ever since I watched the bad movie of Biondro, yeah, you already know that Garfield direct-to-video sequel is a piece of donkey poop. And of course, this film, oh my god, one of the worst aspects about this movie, which this movie was involving with pop culture reference and product placement. I already know that Chase absolutely despises product placement in movies, but to be honest, I don't have a problem with product placement, because at least I'm taking the product placement for a Wirecraft movie. At least I didn't shove it right in your face. But in this movie, they were shoving the pop culture reference and product placement. I think the product placement is even worse. Right, come on. They did a reference of the Olive Garden. They did a reference of Walmart. They did a reference of Kill Ketchup. And the pop culture reference, there was this one sequence in this movie when Garfield was trying to be like Tom Cruise from the Mission Impossible movie. Yeah, just you wait that Tom Cruise would sue this movie up big time. So overall, I absolutely did not like the Garfield movie. And you already know this film wasn't exactly I thought it was. So I thought it was going to be. Like, ever since they played that Bruno Mars song, which I do like that song. Like, that's the only thing I could give credit, because at least that song is kind of jam. But why on earth you put that in the kids movie? Like, seriously. But honestly, and yeah, I do think the second trailer is way more tolerable, because honestly, I think the marketing for this movie is way better than the actual movie. Like, yeah, the story is absolutely generic. The animation is just absolutely ain't my thing. And the character of this movie is just ain't the same. Like, hashtag not my Garfield. Sorry, Chris Pratt, but you did terrible for Garfield. And of course, Odie is okay. John sound like Fix It Feeling for Wreck-It Valve. Jink was Oh my god, I forgot to talk about Jinx. Yeah, the worst character of this movie has to be the villain, which is the white cat. Ugh. Screw that villain. This has got to be one of the worst villain I ever seen for a Garfield movie. You know what? Fuck this movie. I'm done. So yeah, I'm gonna give the Garfield movie. Yeah, just because this movie had one positive about a baby Garfield meeting John for the first time in that fancy Italian restaurant. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm gonna give this movie a 1 out of 10. It's freaking 1 out of 10. Do you understand? I'll give this movie a 10 out of 10? Absolutely not. So I'll give this movie like a 1 out of 10. It is the worst movie, man. And of course, this movie is absolutely trash. Yeah, what's Sony thinking for making this abomination? Ugh. But honestly, I gotta say this, but the marketing for this movie did a lot better because at least at least, because the only thing that this movie did good was that this movie got released a trailer on Monday. It makes sense because Garfield hate Monday. Yeah. I hate Monday. Yeah, I do agree, Garfield. I hate Monday too. Anyway, guys, so that was my movie rant to one of the worst adaptation for Garfield, which is not in the Garfield movie. No wonder John Wick fan absolutely despise this movie. So yeah, I might have to rewatch Space Jam: A New Legacy. Oh wait a second, I do defend that movie, but I can handle John Wick fans' opinion on Space Jam: A New Legacy because that is really. I'm sorry, that's really one of my friend of mine, which is Noella's favorite movie. So I can't trash on I can't trash on her favorite movie the same way I can't trash on the Scream franchise because Paris really enjoys the Scream franchise. Like I do wanna think, what is her opinion on Scream 3? For me, Scream 3 was garbage. Yeah, I absolutely hate Scream 3. That film's a piece of crap. Anyway, guys, so if you want me to do for Sony month, just let me know because I just went out of empty. So I just want to get my rant out of the way. So I just want to say my review on the Cross the Spider-Verse as my very last review for Sony month, which that would be the best way to end on my Sony month because people really enjoy the Cross the Spider-Verse and people are really excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. So yeah, and honestly, and I'm still mad at this day that the Garfield movie just really beat Furiosa. Shame on you, Garfield. Shame on you. Until Joy Furiosa will always be better than the Garfield movie. Oh heck, even every single Mad Max movie will always be better than the Garfield movie. And anyway, and why this movie is getting a sequel? Yeah, the Garfield movie 2 is officially confirmed in early development with Chris Pratt returning the voice as Garfield. Boo! Oh, come on, man. It's supposed to be a different cast, man. Like, the original cast of Garfield is 100 times better than Chris Pratt as Garfield. And if you don't believe me, and honestly, if you don't believe me, and if you think this is fake news, guys, I'm not joking. This movie is actually happened. Like, if you don't believe me, look at Chris Pratt's Instagram and see it to yourself. Like, when you open the pizza box and say Garfield movie 2, and yeah. This movie is on the work, and shame on you, Sony. But you know better than that. Yeah, that's the main reason why I want Sony Jesus to be all part of Sony. But no, we got the actual Sony CEO, and he's not doing a great job. He's doing a terrible job. So yeah. Anyway, guys, so if you enjoyed this Garfield rant, if you want to see more of this Garfield, go to the shenanigan with pop culture reference and product placement. Please, I recommend you, gentlemen, ladies, you hit the subscribe button, turn notification. And should have read your whole family, and oh my god. I'm gonna fight out and say this, but thank God I did not shove your product placement in my movie. Like, who agreed my famous movie of The Wire cried when Marty was ordered some Pizza Hut? Like, who agreed my product placement handle is a lot better than most animated film that handle product placement? Okay, it's bad enough that Freebird was shoving product placement by doing a reference of the one turkey was voicing Otis Wilson was ordered some Chuck E. Cheese's. Like, how on earth you can order some Chuck E. Cheese pizza? Why not you go right in the Chuck E. Cheese? Well, you're a turkey, so no turkey should go in the Chuck E. Cheese's, and no need to add Chuck E. Cheese's in your animated film. In Hollywood, stop putting pop culture reference and product placement out of nowhere. That's fine, you can do it, but don't do it too much. But this movie have a lot more product placement, more than pop culture reference, because this film have audacity to reference Olive Garden, Walmart, and etc. And I swear to God, if the Garfield movie 2 have audacity to the reference of John Wick, yeah, you already know that John Wick fan will blow up like a freaking volcano. If you don't believe me, ask him. See to yourself. Anyway, guys, so this is NH Studio Lounge shutting off, and adios, and your gentlemen, ladies, have a great Indiana and the Garfield movie. Go fake yourself. And if you enjoy this film, if you enjoy this movie, guys, opinion handle. But for me, this film is absolutely trash. And quote by Mario saying this movie is trash. And this is it. Now goodbye and adios, and take care, and don't get sick, and don't get a fever. Goodbye.
The world goes spinning round and round, it's true. We've had our time and now we're through. But you and I forever will be friends. We'll try to touch the sky where clouds never end. And we'll search for wonder all around. And you'll find me hanging upside down. And you and I together in a big, big world. We'll try to touch the sky in a big, big world. You have to go, I know it's time, so give me 5. This whole world is yours and mine. La 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 la.